Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm Allan, and I'm from Green Jakobsen. I come from a company who is focusing on human performance, and we've been doing leadership courses, soft skills in the last or more than 20 years. And we've been talking about superheroes, right? I'm not going to talk about how to become a superhero, but I would like to talk about what makes a super team on board, what makes super seafarers, and what kind of leaders do they have, and what kind of environment they have, and the reason why they are highly performing. Okay, so I'll be talking about psychological safety. So we've been talking already about soft skills, power distance, the kind of leadership that we have, and communications, right? So what is psychological safety? Well, this is very important for a team to perform well, and at the same time, people will be happily working on board or in the organization. So a psychological safety is a work atmosphere where the crew feel free and confident to what? Express their ideas and concerns. So we have been talking about power distance, Filipino culture. I don't have any problem with that. Yes, it's an issue about our culture, but what we're saying here is that we should create a culture on board that could be unique for our company. So the companies should really have to define expectations, specific behaviors, for example, stopping unsafe acts, regardless of what? Rank. When it comes to safety, we need to what? To emphasize, especially the company, to define specific expectations, and they have to clearly communicate it continuously. So we can create a culture wherein people are not afraid to speak up, regardless where you come from, whether you're from Philippines, whether you come from Europe, Asia, whatever. So, in this culture, or in these environments, if the psychological safety is very high, people are very open, speaking up, and they can even challenge the leaders. Like, for example, Captain, we have to do this. So remember, in the Philippine setup, you said that, yes, we don't confront leaders because we have high power distance, but we can change that. Of course, we cannot change that overnight, but we need leaders who can create that environment wherein it's okay if you're going to stop me. But the problem is, are we consistent? If you change the leader, if you change the captain, if you change the chief engineer, are we changing also the standard or our culture on board? So we need companies to really has to set that expectation specifically. Another one is, you see, in an environment where people have high level of psychological safety, the crew or the people on board, they report, admit, and learn from mistakes. Probably you would say that yes, they are better performing crew, but the question is, do they report more incidents? Do they report near misses, unsafe conditions, or acts? Actually, yes. Because on board the vessels, we experience as seafarers like me, it's a fact that a lot of us are forced to report, right, for compliance. Specifically what? We report near misses. Because we are what? Forced to do it. You have to give me 3 near misses or near miss report unsafe acts per week, per month. Or sometimes people are too scared to what? To report. So in a high psychological safety, or that environment wherein psychological safety is high, people are not afraid to report errors, mistakes, unsafe acts, or near misses because they feel there's no negative consequence. All right, so now why is it very important? Crew who feel psychologically safe they are more engaged. Why? Because they're not afraid. That means there's high level of engagement. It's not only the leaders or the senior officers who are telling them what to do, but they're highly involved. The seafarers, the ratings, they're very active in making suggestions, sharing their insights, asking or challenging their leaders when it comes to status quo. So why is it also very important? Another one is that since people are more comfortable in speaking up, they make better and smarter decisions. Problem solving, they solve it even better. Why? Because there are more people who are giving insights, experiences, and ideas. And most importantly, crew who feel psychologically safe, they are the motivated crew. They are happy to follow their leaders because they like their leaders. They can speak up. They're not afraid to challenge the leader. And leaders, they know how to listen. They ask the ratings. That means they lower the power distance wherever they come from, whichever culture they come from. Okay? So it's not defined where we come from, but it's how the company define expectations. Now let me just share with you this one, which defines the different teams on board when it comes to the degree of psychological safety. One thing that I haven't really defined yet is the degree of task reflectivity. It only means that when the level of task reflectivity is high, this organization or individuals, they are task focused. It means they are task or result oriented. So they do their job well and they talk about it. Okay? So below is the social reflectivity, or we simply call it psychological safety. Okay? So the first team or group of people, we can call them as dysfunctional. Why? They don't get the results. They don't like each other. They simply don't care with each other. So no results. Relationship is not good. Another one is this. This is interesting because you see, they get the results. They talk about improving the processes. They focus on results and their tasks. But the problem is, they don't care about people. They lack social skills. The leaders here lack social skills. Teamwork, you can rarely see that. And probably I would assume that this type of organization, they have only managers. Why? They don't have leaders. Because the managers, they only focus on the tasks and the results, but they lack empathy. They don't have good relationship with other people. All right? Next. We have also the laid-back individuals. Wherein, here, although they get along well with each other, relationship is good, however, they lack focus on getting the job done. So, the same thing is not ideal. But most importantly, the ideal group that I would like to highlight here is this. High-performing individuals. What are these? High-performing individuals is characterized by high level of what? Management. Because this team, they focus on tasks, they get the job done, and they're happy working with each other. They have high level of empathy, they communicate well, power distance low, and they take risks in challenging each other because they are not afraid, because they know that the management will support them. So if you look at it, again, To have or to build a good and high-performing crew, we need to have good managers who focus on tasks and results. And we also need people who are leaders, who focuses on what? Building relationship. If you put that together, you would naturally expect good results. And that is one of the secrets why some companies or some organizations are more successful than the others. Just to give you, and in order to create this environment, we need leaders. True leaders, because they are the one who create an environment wherein speaking up will be implemented, who are going to listen and lower the power distance. Because all these things that we say about leadership, suggestions and all that, people will not speak if the leaders will not allow it, right? If they say, you do it my way or the gang way, then the person, you're just shutting his mouth. So in order to create this team, we need also a super leader who is flexible, who listens, and who builds relationship. Now, in the last few years, we have been following some vessels. So the Green Jakobsen has been conducting surveys for many years. So we analyzed the data of our safety delta clients. For this one is in 2022. We focus on two important aspects, and that's psychological safety, and the other one is the task reflectivity, which pertains to being task-oriented or having the focus and capacity to do the task. So each that here is represented by a vessel.
You have to recap. You have to recap. You have to recap.
Sorry?
You have to recap.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, just to, if you look at it here, if you look at here, we have the 4 vessels at the bottom. And also there's a correlation between safety, psychological safety and the performance of the crew on board, like the vetting inspections, okay? So we need people and leaders to constantly review, engage and discuss with their team so that they may be able to improve. And so, therefore, we need leaders to create this environment where people listen with one another. When I say control, inclusion, and appreciation, leaders should know and be aware that they trust each other. When I say control, it's about giving the control instead of micromanaging or controlling. So we need leaders also who listens. When you say listens, it's also about what? Taking care of others. All right?